Hey everybody, it is Tuesday, April the 7th, 2020. It is our 11th edition, our 11th weekly edition here of of our You Can Do It video, where we are today yet again going to go through all the K clubs. We're going to look at our rookie and our entrepreneur of the week. There's some incredible performances out there, and a couple things as we get into it. A couple thoughts. One, make sure you look at the housekeepers. There's a bunch of them that are coming out there. We're working on right now our production PPE, so that's the personal protective equipment that we'll use to make sure that we can produce safely. You'll want to get on that as soon as you possibly can. That's going to be included in the email, so make sure you take a look at that. Don't miss that, as well as some of the other housekeepers. April 18th, we're going to run a TSC. I think it's a huge opportunity to be able to get together again and really be able to look at some of the things that are skills that we wouldn't normally have space to talk about and look at, but we do. And I'm really excited to be able to do that and have some cool, a little bit different sessions as a part of that. So again, keep that in mind. Make sure you block that off. In terms of your business, it's interesting. I'm learning a ton right now, and I'm taking a ton of notes. I hope everyone else is starting to do that as well. I wouldn't, in 2008, about a decade ago, which is crazy to think about it, I went to Boston, and that was in the worst recession and one of the worst economies since the Great Depression. And it's crazy to see how many things are the same and similar that are showing up in slightly different ways, but very similar things. So keep your learning. And I learned a lot then, and I'm learning a ton now as we go through this. And one of the things that I've learned is how important data is, and true and clean data in such an emotional time. I heard somebody say, gosh, we've been in this thing for so long, this self-isolation, like, gosh, I just don't know how long this is gonna last. And then we thought about it, and it's been 3 weeks, right? Like, it's been 3 solid weeks so far, and that's not to belittle it. It's important. It's tough. But I've got 2 little kids here. Things are going a little stir crazy. Routines are a little bit off. It's not easy, especially when you don't have, let's say, a finish line. But it's one way to feel like it's been so long, and it's another way to think about it being having been 3 weeks. It's the same thing with your business, and wondering and thinking all the way out and predicting all the way out to, like, what if? And right now it's April 7th. That means we have all of April, we have all of May, we have all of June, we have all of July, we have all of August. There's 5 full months left right now. Before you would typically, for those that would go back to school on September 1st. If you were at one of our first TSAs, that means it was the end of January, so that means you've gone through February, March, that's it, right? So we're 2 of, 7 months in. We've gotten 2 months, we got 5 to go. There's still so much time. And to me, some of those things, sometimes the data really helps me work through, what would be typically an emotional time. So keep that in mind. In the newsletter, in the CP Gazette today, that comes out today, and talked a little bit about being an imbalanced engine. And I think that right now this is a huge opportunity for our entire business. Our business is not going to be the same coming out of this. I think it's going to be way better. It's giving us the ability to do a lot of things like the social selling site. If you haven't done that, get that up. That is critically important right now to you. But the other thing is, we might actually start pushing production back in future years too, because you've got what I always call it's an imbalanced engine. Your production part of your engine moves way faster, especially if you've got multiple crews, but you're able to move that production side of your engine way quicker than the marketing side of your engine. That's why previous customers in the preseason are so important, because they give you a head start. So if you've got this imbalanced engine, which every business has in one way or another, this is going to give you the opportunity to try to build up that marketing side so that you have a more balanced engine, when we do start production, which is still planned to be 5-6 weeks out from now. So with all that said, take the time. As long as you're not doing, let's say, nothing right now, as long as you're not just sitting, you're actually making some really interesting progress. But it's hard to do it because it's almost like driving in a fog, right? Like, if you think about it, if you're driving in a fog and you pulled over and just didn't move eventually and waited for the fog to move, eventually it would, right? Eventually the fog would go away, but you'd be in the same spot. If you can continually safely navigate, and maybe just a little bit more cautiously, but safely navigate through that fog, you might get to the other end of the fog and you're gonna be so much further ahead when it does clear than somebody who just stopped in their tracks. And right now it is such a massive opportunity for you to do that and to be able to get ahead of the marketing side more than you normally would. Yes, is it going to take different tactics? Yes, is it going to be challenging and a little bit different? For sure. But when I look at these K clubs and I look at some of the performances from the week, there's just absolutely no doubt that it's a matter of activity. That's it. Clearly, like, I know if people want to talk about it, I'm happy to talk about it. But the only thing holding you back right now is not doing anything. You may not get the exact results you thought you would, but if you're putting activity into the business and putting time and energy into the business, you are going to get results. If you continually and constantly do that, you will have momentum. If you have momentum, when things clear, because they will clear eventually, you're going to be in a far better place. So take advantage of this opportunity to balance out your engine, get ahead of the marketing side a little bit. Know that you've got 5 months to go. The halfway point of our season is still 6 weeks away right now. Doesn't mean that things aren't real, but it does mean that you've got a very real opportunity to hit success this year, no matter where you're at and no matter what you're trying to get to. You just might need to take a slightly different path than the original plan. So with that, kicking off our K clubs, the 10K club, starting off with Zach Locke at 10.5, Orion Malley at 10.7, Vanessa Douglas at 10.8, Armin, you're in at 10.8, Ruben Smith, you're in at 10.9, Mr. Matt Hotchkiss, you're in there at 11.1, Talia at 11.2, Braden Lehman at 11.3, Simon, you're in there at 11.4, Cassandra at 11.5, Kayla Wilson at 11.9, Herman, you're in there at 11.9, Cody Bereza at 11.9, Caleb, you're in there at 12K, Juan, you're in there at 12.5, Adam, 12.5, Abdul at 12.6, Adam Mikalski, you're in there at 12.9, Riley Bruce at 12K on the dot, Alex Sawyer, you're in there at 13.1, Aiden Scott, 13.2, Andrew at 13.5, Eric Wachewski, you're in there at 13.6, Cole at 13.6, Jiteshin at 14.4, Kate at 14.5, Eric Phillips at 14.6, Yusuf at 14.7, Austin Udy at 14.9, and Durham in there at 14.9. Couple there just right on the edge of that 15K, which is going to kick off this week at 15K with Alex Andrew. Awesome to see us with some movement there. Lawan at 15.4, Chris Van Galen at 15.5, Braden Fleury at 15.8, Rowan at 16.2, Austin Glover at 16.3, Joe, you're in there at 16.5, George Larmon at 17.1, Jalen at 17.1, Joseph Giffen at 17.4, Braden Hudson at 17.6, Noah, you're in there at 17.8, Josh McKillop at 18.1, Himanish at 18.2, Gabe Wooten at 18.5, Connor Clark Bob at 18.6, Matt Vucic 18.7, Hillary, you're in there at 18.7, Mr. Ben Seeley at 19K, and at 19.5, Hugo Hayes Montoya. A couple again there. Going to flip themselves, I almost guarantee it, into that 20K club next week, which this week we're kicking off with Carter Sutherland. Awesome job, Carter. 20.6, Drew Breen at 20.9, Dan Thiessen at 20.7, Michael Church at 21.8, Micah, you're in there at 22, Kathleen Turner at 22.2, Owen Healy, 22.6, Musemill, you're in at 22.8, Catherine Stokes at 22.9, Zach Irvine at 23.6, Janelle in at 23.7, and Midori Clark Baba in there at 23.9. Into the 25K club, Lucas Akins, 25.5, Daniel Boughton, you're in there at 25.8, Jesse Kwaczynski, 25.9, Emma Schuler at 26.5, Max Lowe at 26.7, Kaylin Clark, 27.7, Max Kolnick, 27.7, Eric DaCosta at 27.9, Alex Dirksen, you're in there at 29.2, and Mr. Jamie Schultz at 29.5. 30K club, all alone in that 30K club, Ms. Erica McAllister. I think you're going to have some company next week, unless you flip yourself into that 35K club, where right now you got Dylan Giles at 39.5 and James Britton at 39.9. Both of you guys are going to be in that 40K club with Peter Dirksen. So Peter, right now, you're in there at 40.7, the 45K club. Joel Warner at 46.4. We're going to skip a bunch of clubs all the way up to the 70K club, where we've got Emma Seed Binney at 72.4, Slada at 72.9, and Kean at 74.1. Skip a whole bunch more clubs. Cross that 130K mark. So that's Tungsten already on April the 7th. Congrats, Dylan Horner, 134.2. Again, I think it just shows the movement here, what's possible, right? So if you're struggling, you're at 10K. there's you want to be at 20, you want to be at 30, you want to be at 40. There's a lot of people right now that you can reach out and talk to. So congrats again, the top 5. Mr. Dylan Horner, 134. Then Kian at 74.1, Slade at 72.9, Emma at 72.4, and Joel Warner at 46.4. Those are your current top 5. So, Rookie and Entrepreneur of the Week. There's a bunch of the nominations. It is so great. Congratulations to everybody who's nominated here. It is, it's awesome to see this. So, kicking off our rookie, Martina, you booked 2K in PCs. You dove into your calling this week. You got a whole bunch of results. You navigated some concerns around COVID. And you're able to get $2,000 booked. Congrats. Mr. Dan Booten, 3,800 in PCs. Well over your goal. Tons of uncertainty out there, and you're able to go book almost $4,000. Justin, again, out west. Justin, $1,900 in PCs, but the cool part is $1,600 in external. So I know you've got a bit of a program you're running out there. Feel free to reach out to Justin. $3,500, but it's actually a split between external and PCs right now, which is cool, super cool to see. Olivia, booked $2,200. Olivia, you're trained on Monday how to call PCs, and you're out there booking literally a couple grand in previous customers. Awesome job. Micah, again, another nomination for you. $3,300 in PCs. Just another consistent week, taking a big chunk out of there. Great job. Cole Olfert, $2,300 in overall. Booked just shy of $2,000 in new customers this week. Amazing to see. Doing a bunch of flyering and following up through Canada 411. Just a ton of potential right now to grow the business, and not afraid to try some different things and put some real consistent effort into it. And the last rookie nomination, Mr. Braden Lehman. So Braden, you booked $4,000 last week. Rather than letting any of the negativity in the world come around you, you focused on what you could control, committed to the activity, and did the work. $4,000 last week. Awesome job, Braden. Those are your Rookie of the Week nominations. Our Entrepreneur of the Week, Mr. Eric DaCosta. You booked $2,000 last week in PCs, but you also booked almost $400 in external. So you're continuing to move your business. You're consistent with it. And you're getting on all these, you're getting referrals, I'm hearing, from Quentin for external, which is awesome. Braden Fleury booked $5,200 in PCs last week. Huge boost in your momentum. New personal best for the week last week, and your PC retention is over 90% right now. Congrats. Max Kolnick, no stranger here right now to the nominations, but booked $4,700. All your bookings came from those painting lists, so it's your 4th week of perfect consistency, as Kevin put it. Great job, Mr. Dylan Horner. Again, moving the business, over 135K booked right now. $5,500 last week in PCs. Just consistently pouring that effort in, and it's showing. Mr. Alex Dirksen booked $3,300 in PCs. Crossed 100% PC retention line last week. Awesome job, Alex. Just showing how much you can squeeze the orange, if you will. And Kathleen Turner. So, Kat, you booked $2,600 last week. Had a couple of good weeks in a row right now. You're consistently pushing to hit the goal. And with this week's results, you're not far off that April 26th proximal, which is awesome to see. So many nominations, people making real progress. Great job. So last week, the winners are Rookie of the Week, Mr. Braden Lehman. Congrats, man. Booked $4,000 like we said last week, and you really focused on activity. The results came. And so it's where you put your focus. I talked a little bit about it. Those that put the activity in this fog, you will be further ahead than those that pull over. So congratulations. And the Entrepreneur of the Week is another Braden Fleury. Braden's sweep this week. He booked $5,200 in PCs. Personal best. Again, PC retention over 91% right now. Congrats, Braden. So again, if you're struggling to get results, if you're struggling to put the time in, whatever it is, you can do it. You can absolutely do it. There are people out there making the progress that you want to make right now. Momentum is absolutely everything. Keep pushing. If you need anything, let us know. Have a fantastic week, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon.